Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Egypt is about to host the Climate Change Conference COP27 next November in Sharm el-Sheikh city. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us today in the breakfast show our dear guest, Dr. Sherine Farag, Professor of Biomedical Engineering. Good morning. Well, Dr. Farag, how do you see Egypt's preparations concerning the COP27 it's going to hold in November?
COP27 is the most achievement for our politics now, because it's 27 years. It's already held from 27 years, and it's the first time that we are speaking about environment, about climate changes, where it become on the focus of all the world. When we speak about climate, I would like to say about the Earth. Earth was from 4.5 billion years, and then life has beginning with single cell creatures, until we are going with dinosaurs and this era, and then life and human being. We say that we are on the 8 seconds before the 12. That means before or the Earth, maybe it will disappear. So the most important issues is when climate changes, there is a difference in creatures and life. And we are speaking now about the climate changes because there is a complete difference, where before, from 65 million of years, there is a lot of biodiversity where it already disappeared. 95 of the biodiversity in Earth has disappeared, and now still only 5%. We are expecting that 50% of the 5% will disappear because of the climate changes. So it's very important because it has its impact on biodiversity, life, changes in weather, changes in agriculture issues, and even we are speaking about green economics, the problem of greenhouse emissions, so gases and emissions. So there is a lot of issues where it became to change our life. We can say that the last era was for the industrial area, electronics, so and so. And now we are in the biotechnology era, where there is a completely difference in what you are saying is biotechnology. You can change, or you can add some features for human being, for agriculture, and in everything. There is a complete intersections with the biotechnology in ocean, in water, in everything. So we have to understand that our life will be has
Yes.
a lot of changes due to the climate changes impact.
Yes, could you talk to us about the preparations underway taking place in Egypt to prepare for organizing the COP27 next November in Sharm el-Sheikh?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of focusing concerning this issue, because it's one of the the first one that we held in Egypt and in Africa, by the way, because Egypt has been spoken about the problem of Africa, because we are saying that we are the hub where we can translate the technologies to Africa. I think our president has put this conference in the issue and the focus, and you can find all government has working to give us the best conferences where it should be done. By the way, I will tell you that Sharm el-Sheikh will become a green city, and Sharm el-Sheikh now has making segregation for waste, and even if you are just launching your something that's not should be in these buckets, it will return back to you. So it's completely they work with scientific intelligence and artificial intelligence, and they are working to make it green. So I think after this conference, Sharm el-Sheikh is welcoming all the people to see the new technologies and the green cities.
Yes. Dr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Egypt was very keen to host this conference. What were the criteria by which they choose a country like Egypt to host this conference?
I think it is the success of our president policy. And then what I can say to you is that Africa is harmed from what's going, what we are saying climate change is
So
due.
you're saying that Africa is harmed from the climate change, despite that Africa have plenty of natural resources.
Yes, but what we are speaking about, the industrial area has been on
Yes.
another countries
Yes.
where they are making their emissions, and we are harmed due to these emissions, but we are not making the same emissions like
So
them.
the natural resources in Africa will not decrease the effect of the climate change that's going to affect Africa and Egypt.
I'm afraid that it will affect
Yes.
the natural resources. That means there will become a different situation, because your biodiversity, 50% of this biodiversity, we can say that it is a quarter of the world is in Africa, and 50% of them will be disappeared. You know, Egypt has 140 species that is not never, and you will not find it in all the world. And now we have about 2,500 species only. And when we are speaking about Africa, you can say it's around 5,000, something like that. So when you are speaking that it will disappear 25% of it.
Yes.
It is harmed whenever they are not doing any problem for the climate. That means they are working in, we can say, in a peaceful way. They are not making big emissions in the world, whereas the other countries are making the emissions, and Africa, it will be harmed.
Yes, yes. Dr. Farag, what do we expect from the coming COP27 conference that's going to take place next November in Sharm el-Sheikh? What would be the main topic, or it's going to focus on, what would be high on the agenda of this conference?
They are speaking about all the climate changes. Yes. That means what is the impact for the water, what's the impact for weather, what's the impact for agriculture.
Yes.
It will work on
to discuss
on
all the fields.
All the fields. But I think in the most important issue is two issues. First of one, that the other countries who have making their emissions, and you know Kyoto, and there is a problem for Kyoto because some countries don't want to implement Kyoto. It is an agreement where some big countries, they don't want to take their responsibilities. That we are searching that they have to bear their responsibilities. They have harmed Africa, and they have to pay to save Africa from these problems. So they have to take their responsibilities. This is the first issue. And the second issue is the mitigation measures. We have to put some mitigation measures that we have to make it in Africa and in Egypt especially, in order to save our life, to save our land, to save everything. You know, now there is some new words is coming now, that immigration due to environmental problems.
Yes.
And it become an important issue in the UN, because, okay, you have to accept immigration due to climate changes and environmental problems. You know, because Africa has plenty of problems now. Maybe it's just an alarm that you can be harmed as you harm us, and some immigrations will be coming for other countries.
Yes.
They don't have the same impact for them.
Yes. Doctor, how would the climate change affect the people's health?
That has a great effect, as I'm telling you. You know, some another bacteria, viruses, you can find it. Some different in your life even. And this is why I'm telling you about the biotechnology, because biotechnology now is coming to put genes in another species in order to change it. That means, you know, some species that's still alive, they are putting on it some genes, and this is one of I don't like it, because they are doing in Africa, and the African people, they don't aware of what's going on, but they are coming to some species in Africa and some countries.
Yes.
And they are trying to change their gene map, and then to make another issues.
Yes.
This is a big problem, and I think we are completely harmed.
Yes.
Because it's an important issue if you are speaking about the biotechnology and its implication for health, as well concerning agriculture issues. So if you are speaking that, okay, I put the gene of cucumber in tomatoes, for example.
Yes.
You give them some other features. So it's done here, it's done in these countries. because maybe they're not aware of what they have as a precious species. So it will affect health, it affect our life, different in everything in your life,
Yes.
different in weather. And we are speaking about weather, that means you are speaking about bacteria and life. It will change itself.
Yes, yes. Doctor, concerning that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave his directives to put a great, big budget for producing the green hydrogen.
Yeah, okay. You know, the green hydrogen is now, it become to be implemented in some European countries. And it's one of our achievement as well, that Egypt now is coming from was from the beginning of countries that in Africa, or the first one maybe, that it implements the hydrogen emissions energy. So I think in the near future we will be one of the leaders in that issues.
In that field, yes. Dr. Farag, also concerning Sharm el-Sheikh city hosting next November the COP27 climate change conference. Now Egypt is preparing the Sharm el-Sheikh city to be a green city, and all the hotels now are preparing itself to be green hotels, or dealing with clean energy. How do you see this?
It is a good example and a model.
Yes.
That it will, in my opinion, it will be implemented in many other governorates as well.
Yes.
Sharm el-Sheikh will be the most famous model, because you know it's more or less touristic
yes, of course,
governorate, and you can find when you are coming with green cities, and this city as a famous one. So it's our what was saying, the first interfacing with our touristic people. So they are interfacing how Egypt is now it's not an underdeveloped country now.
Yes.
So one of green areas, green cities, and then it will be imitated on some another governorate.
Yes.
That means our life it changed, because you know, some Egyptians don't expect that environment has a great impact on their life. And they are not seeing it as an important issue, because in my opinion, when you are facing some environmental problems, that means it will not be kill you now, it will take many years. So they are not making it as a risk and an assessment for this risk in their life.
Yes.
And now when we are seeing how green has a good implementation in our life, in our health, it will make it propagating in other governorate, and even it will make the people thinking how this environment can impact their lives. That okay, what we can say is okay about fishes, about anything.
So how can the person or the individual himself know more about, I mean, spreading awareness concerning the green or clean energy?
Green energy, you know, now Egypt is speaking about the renewable energy, and we have plenty of renewable energy resources. We have sun, we have wind, so Egypt can be a hub for this field, and to make green energy as well.
I thank you very much for your valuable information. Thank you for explaining everything in a simple way that anybody could follow, us even people who are not specialized in this field. Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you for your time, Dr. Sherine Farag, Professor of Biomedical Engineering.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. I was in the company of my colleague, Mahissi Rabia. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.